All right. So, what are we doing today? Well, we're back in the shop. I've turned my volume down on the microphone because I don't want to sound like Michael Myers, okay? That last video, I'm over here like, and I think it's just because the microphone is rather sensitive and I have it clipped here on my chest. I mean, I am, got the physique of a middle-aged garbage man or whatever, but I don't think I breathe that loud. At least the people I know don't tell me I do that. So I turned the volume down, so hopefully it's more palatable to you fine people. So a couple things I want to show you before we start working. All right. I'm still waiting on the timing cover, which is supposed to be, let me lower this down. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, which would be Friday. All right, so when that gets here, we're going to slam that on. Well, we got to put the oil gears and all that in and make sure that's all good. And then put it on. I'm going to do the rear main seal tonight, but I'm still waiting on the gasket for the oil pickup. And I've still got to sandblast the oil pan, so I think I'm going to just kind of let it sit over there and think about its greatness for a little while. What I'm thinking of doing today is I'd like to snatch the L head out of Jubal. If I can't pull it all the way out, then what I would like to do is at least get it ready to pull out. So I've got to finish unhooking some stuff underneath it, unhook the clutch pedal, the starter, undo the rear cross member, jack up the end of it. So there's a bunch of stuff to do. But, so y'all keep chastising me about getting particulate into my eyes, all right? So the other night, I was underneath the truck, wasn't filming, just kind of unhooking some stuff, nothing worth filming, and I got something in my eye the size of Nantucket Island, okay? And it wasn't pleasant. And I thought about all y'all's comments about how I'm a simpleton and I won't wear safety goggles, so I bought some, all right? Now, these are some DeWalt's. Got these off the interwebs, and they are fully encompassing of your eye sockets. Now, I may look like a World War I fighter pilot, but these cover all the way around, which was my main problem with any glasses I had before, is that, crap would fall, hit your forehead and fall into your eye, or hit your cheek and fall into your eye. These won't allow that. So, bought a set of these. I don't know that I'm going to wear them all the time, but at least I have them, and I might wear them occasionally. All right, so there's that. The other thing we got is, I smoke cigars, and I thought, what, y'all seen me smoke a pipe before, so why don't we switch it up? We'll get out our Savinelli, Church Warden, and we'll do a little pipe lesson real quick, and a little chit-chat, and before we start working on the truck, just a little ramble, shall we? Oh, God, it smells good. What I've found over the years is, particularly women don't like the smell of cigars, all right? Most men I know, other than the guys I know at the cigar shop, don't like the smell of cigars. They call them cat turds, is what they call them. And I say that's negative attitude. But what I found is I've yet to meet a woman that didn't like the smell of a pipe. Okay, so there's that. Plus you look like a distinguished gentleman. So I'm going to show you how I smoke a pipe. Or how I pack a pipe. Let me move you over here. I don't have my tamper, which is what you use to tamp the tobacco down with. But this method of packing a pipe was shown to me by an old timer. And it's always worked well for me. Now, everybody I know does it different that smokes pipes, but this is how the regular traveler does it. So it might be something useful for you. My average audience member is like 65 or so. So a lot of y'all probably smoke pipes. In this day and age, most people are smoking pipes, not this kind, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not into any of that, never have been, but I do like pipes, tobacco pipes. So this is how I smoke, or how I pack a pipe. So what you do is you get you a little handful of pipe tobacco. Okay, here's your pipe. And now the classical method of this was that they would pack it firmly, then kind of medium, and then gentle. Okay, I don't do none of that crap. This old timer showed me this, and it's always worked quite well for me. So it might work well for you if you fancy smoking a pipe. Is you pack your pipe like this, you fill the bowl up. This tobacco is Black Cavendish, Borkham Riff. My favorite pipe tobacco is Sir Walter Raleigh, and that's for a couple different reasons. I like Sir Walter Raleigh as a historical figure. He's sick, okay? But he also, I like the tobacco named after him. All right. So what you do is you fill up your pipe bowl like this. You take your tobacco and you throw it over there. All right. So right now you got it filled up to the top. Now this old timer showed me this about probably 8 years ago, 10 years ago. And what you do is you take the pipe like this and you hold your hand open and you slap it against the palm of your hand. Okay. Like that. You do that a few times, and what that does is it creates a small air pocket down here in the bottom of the bowl, which keeps the flow good, but it keeps the tobacco pretty much evenly packed at the top. Okay, so usually a few strikes like that. Always usually do a little extra. And this is the way I've always smoked a pipe, more or less. And it's always worked out pretty good. I can smoke a whole pipe bowl without it burning out as long as I'm actually aware that I'm still smoking a pipe. So, now usually when you first light a pipe, you're going to have the tobacco rise up. That's normal, all right? If you've never smoked a pipe, a lot of guys I know, they get upset. Oh God, I can't smoke, it's too much. It's really not that complicated, all right? Let me grab something to use as a tamper. A nail works, a 303 British rifle cartridge works quite well. That's what I used to use for years. 30-06 cartridge works too, but I like a rimmed cartridge just because they seem to work better. Here's a self-tapper, that'll work. All right, so the tobacco, when you first light it, rises up like that. All right, that ain't no big deal. You don't worry about it. All right, take your tamper, tamp it back down, like that. Now, usually you have to light it a couple times on the initial light. If you get the light going like that, then you tamp it a little bit. Not real hard, gentle, gentle. And now you can smoke your fancy church warden like a distinguished gentleman, okay? Now, a lot of people don't understand a church warden, what the point of it is. The point of a church warden, back in the day, was actually for purpose so that it would be long enough to be out of your view while you were reading a document, is from what I understand. I've heard different accusations on why they made the stem this long. Why it matters in the modern era is pipes have a tendency to smoke really hot, and the smoke gets hot, and that gives you something called tongue burn, where the smoke's so hot it burns your tongue, and it makes everything difficult to eat or drink, and you don't want that, okay? So the longer stem like this makes the smoke cooler by the time it gets to your mouth, and it makes it a quite pleasant smoke. It's not heavy, you know, it looks heavy, but it's not. They'll say you're out smoking your church ward. You're wooing those fancy 1950s ladies that like seeing a man smoke a church warden, okay? And you don't have a tamper. This is a disastrous situation. What you do in that situation is you hold your pipe like this and you tap your fingers. And that will knock the tobacco down as if you were using a tamper. It's not perfect, but it does work. And pipes are just, they're nice. You can't really smoke them in a rush. If you smoke them too high, you risk, cracking the bowl or messing up the finish. And they're a much more pleasant encounter. Mm-hmm. It's true. So Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh, okay, so he's responsible for lots of things. He's responsible for the introduction of tobacco to the old world. He is responsible for the lost colony of Roanoke. Okay, his name was on that. He was never actually there, but he was the one loosely in charge of that situation. He also was so tight with the Queen of England at the time that people were wondering if they were having an affair. There's no evidence to support that they were, but there's no evidence to support that they weren't. But what we do know is that Sir Walter Raleigh fancied one of the Queen's ladies in waiting. And apparently was having quite a torrid thing with her. And then they did get married, which the Queen was not overly fond of. And him and her ends up getting, I believe they get imprisoned in the Tower of London. And then when they go to execute Sir Walter Raleigh, they're going to cut his head off. And if I remember right, he's not the only one that said something like this, but he is the one I always remember because Sir Walter Raleigh, he said when he was talking to the executioner, the axe man, all right, the one that's going to cut his head off, he said something to the effect of, "I hope you sharpen the axe." Yeah. So he's giving the executioner some a little laugh, a little chuckle. I like to think the executioner's like, "Oh, come on, man, shut up. But yeah, little micro history chat. But yeah, so we're still waiting on some parts. Those should be rolling in here in the next 3 or 4 days, hopefully, theoretically. The gentleman that I bought the old pan gasket from, I contacted him, let him know that he left something out, and he said that he would send me the piece that he left out, which is the gasket for the oil pickup. So that should be here, hopefully, in a couple days. So that's another reason why I want to get the old pan all done at once. And right now everything's all oily and to keep it from rusting, and I don't feel like messing with it right now. So that's why we're going to, here in just a moment, we're going to jack around with Jubal. So we got to snatch that engine out, you know what I'm saying? And we got to get it set off to the side. And I needed to change the clutch in that transmission anyway. So once it's out here in a few days, we're going to separate it from the transmission. And then once we put this Dauntless into Jubal's frame, we're going to take that engine, put it on this engine stand. And that way, when we go to get it ready to put in the 2-wheel drive Willys, then we can work on it. Because we got to change the head gasket. I'm going to pop the old pan off, look inside it, clean it out, change the rear main seal, and get it prepped to go into the 2-wheel drive Willys, which I talked about in the previous video. But I'm actually pretty happy about it because the 2-wheel drive Willys, that's its factory engine, is an L-head 134 Go Devil. All right. And so I'm making Jubal non-original, but we're not butchering him to no end. And we'll actually be putting the original engine back in the 2-wheel drive Willys, so we're making one truck non-original, and we're making another one original. So that's good. It's a fair trade-off. So I'm interested to see how the 2-wheel drive Willys performs as it sits right now with that engine in it. So I think that'll be good. That's the next project after Jubal's done. Now, before we start doing this, because I'm smoking my pipe, and let's just chat, shall we? Let's have a little ramble before we dick around with Jubal. I was doing some light duty looking about the headers that I was talking about buying, the side hugger headers. According to what I've read, they will not work on this truck. They will interfere with things. So we don't want that, and I certainly don't want to spend 500 chinchillas on something that's not going to work. Because, no. So, I believe I'm probably just going to use these original manifolds. Or you can order the manifolds off of a 1975 Buick Riviera, I think. And those both point to the rear, and they also both, one of them is kind of hugs the block tighter. They're both hug the block tighter than these factory Dauntless ones. So I might end up ordering those. And they're not that expensive. Also, the motor mounts that actually mount to the block, I've got to order a set of those. And from what I understand, the best ones to order, according to the forums, is a 1975 or 6. I want to say it was a Buick Skylark, is what I want to say, that came with a 3.8 231, which is the engine that Buick made after this 225. And the reason why they say those are the best is because the original mount is made where if it separates, it's total separation and nothing supporting the engine on that side. This particular mount has a different design to basically where it interlocks, and so even if the rubber completely disintegrates, it still doesn't fully separate, which is good because you don't want that when you're out in the mountains and stuff. So I might order those. They're like $10 a piece. So even if they're not right, it's $20 is what I'm saying. You can order those from Napa. So I might order those once we're getting closer to putting the engine in. Now, once you get to this point on your pipe smoking venture, you'll notice like I'm about halfway smoked on this bowl. Because it's not a very big bowl. And what you can do is put your fingers on the top and block the air, which makes it burn a little bit hotter and kind of reignite before it goes out. There you go. And they doesn't smell like a cat turd. It smells like a distinguished historian's office at Cambridge or something. Yeah. All right, that's enough rambling. We're going to set this pipe down, and we're going to grab the light, and we're going to roll up underneath the Willys, and we're going to see if we can't get that clutch linkage unhooked and whatnot. So let me turn you off for a second, get all that set up, and then I'll bring you back. Does that sound good? Smoker pipes if you got them, cigars, Lucky Strikes, what have you. And the Regular Traveler will be back with you momentarily. Before you know it, before a cat can lick its ass, I'll be right back. Okay? Just take a look at the old Willys real quick. Look at it peeking around right there. One of you said it looks pretty tough with the fenders off. It does. It does. It always does. Yeah, buddy, I'll be right back. All right? All right, so we're back. And if you're wondering about my battery setup here, I'm running it off this converter to this Makita battery. So obviously this battery is a 2 amp. I've ran it off of 5, 3, and 4 amps. And the good thing about this setup is it keeps the internal battery is no longer in the GoPro right now. And what that means is this battery is not generating heat as it's using energy inside the camera, because the thing about GoPros is they generate a lot of heat. All right, yeah, I'm wearing the goggles on my head. I hope you're happy. All right, anyway, they generate a lot of heat, so this one's not generating heat. So this setup is actually not too bad. You just get the tether of it hooked to the camera, which I'm not super happy about, but it is what it is. All right, so we got the light underneath the truck right now. We drained the oil and out of the transfer case and the transmission the other night. So hypothetically speaking, as long as we can get the clutch assembly unhooked, get the starter unhooked, probably just take the starter off, and then undo that rear cross member with a jack underneath it to support the end of it there. Then we unhook the motor mounts up here, unhook the exhaust, which we got to do. Then we should be hypothetically ready to go. So, man, a lot of pipe smoke in here, man. Oh, take a look at this crap that these godforsaken rats have done to my creeper. Look at this. Look at these savages have eaten my creeper. Okay? I mean, it's just incredible. All right, let's grab some different pliers because we're going to need some, because there's a couple cotta pins, as they say, cotta, like Jimmy cotta pins that have to come out. Let me walk you around over here and set you on the ground, actually. That way I don't have to drag you around underneath the truck. Let's put you down here for just a moment. That's a broken bolt off the fender. We're gonna put these right there, and this is a little micro tripod that I haven't used in a while, so we're gonna use this. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but we're gonna try. And we'll see what we can do here. See what we can do. We'll grab this rubber mallet as well. Let's move this old cage because we don't need that over here. Also, there was quite a bit of metal-looking particulate in the oil out of my transfer case, which I don't understand why. It doesn't grind. The yokes are tight. There's no in-play, in and out, up and down, nothing on the yokes. I don't know why, but there was quite a bit of particulate in the Earl, so I'm pretty excited about that. Not sure what to make of that, but I can tell you we're not worrying about it right now, I'll tell you that. I can't tell what y'all can see. Alright, so what we're doing is, alright, so here's your pedals right here, alright. This pedal, oh, hang on. So this pedal right here is your clutch pedal, and this one is your brake. Okay, this one hooks straight to your master cylinder right here, if y'all can see. On a Willys Truck, it hooks right there to your master cylinder right here. Okay, you can't see the rod, but it's there. This one is connected to this arm that runs from your frame to the side of your transmission, and it has a rod right here that connects it. So when you push the clutch, it pushes this arm, which in turn pushes another arm over here, which pushes your clutch fork in and out. Okay. So what we got to do is get this cotter pin out, get this connecting arm loose. That way we can pull out this rod. I've already undone it from the frame over here, so that we can get this rod out of here so that we can have the clutch no longer hooked to the transmission at all. So that when we pull it out, it's not destroying crap, okay? So that's where we're at. And it's nice to have such a thick chest like I have, so that your chest is, I can roll underneath the Willys, but my chest is like touching the oil pan, my sternum, so that's cool. I'm happy about that. So what we're going to do is try to get this bloody cotter pin out. Now my hands are probably going to be in the way for y'all to see anything. So just remember that I love you, all right? No matter what, just remember that. The right click driver loves you, all right? I just hate cotter pins so much, especially ones like this that I put in upside down, which is completely my own fault, because then I have no one to blame but myself for my own stupidity, which is what's happening right now, okay? If I'd have put this in the other way, you could have bent it and pulled it right out, but I'm an idiot, so I put it in completely wrong. Never planning for this scenario where I'm going to be doing this again, so that's important to never plan ahead. That way you can always struggle when you are doing stuff. It's a pro tip, is what it is. All right, any mechanic will tell you that, okay? Pro tip, do it wrong so that it's harder the next time you go to do it. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know if you can, if my microphone is blocked by the oil pan. Let's clip you right there, so maybe you can hear anything that I'm saying. How about that? Let's see. All right, now I can actually see stuff. Sometimes it's easier just to break the cotter pin than trying to bend it back straight enough to get it out. Well, there it goes. There we go. Safety goggles already came in handy. All right, now we're going to get this bloody rod out. Come on. Come on. All right, so now that's our rod. A connecting piece right here. We're going to put that over there. So now that's out of the way. I unhooked the spring off of this clutch lever. I kind of wish I hadn't now, but it's unhooked now. So now we can theoretically, there we go. So that's unhooked. Right on, right on. Now we need to try to fish this lever out without ripping crap or breaking stuff, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do. Ow! Damn it. That hurt. Alright, fine. I don't know what size the transfer case bolts are, so we'll just unhook the transmission right now, and then we'll get back up again to go get the bolts for the other one. Transfer the entire exhaust system from this truck to the two-wheel drive truck, because we're going to have to replace the exhaust on this one anyway. I was going to do dual exhaust, but I'm thinking now I'm just going to do a Y pipe and one thing, just for actually saving money and for keeping no need to have extra crap underneath the truck. Because dual exhaust is, depending on what you believe, yeah, it makes the engine run a little bit better, but it also, you know, it's more expensive, and it also is, it's more stuff to have to hang under the truck, it's more welds, it's more bracketry, it's everything else like that. And we're going to be using this truck off-road a lot, and I don't know that we actually need dual exhaust on it. Maybe later. But as of now, we're going to run one good pipe on it, I think. The Commandos ran, I think it was a 3-inch exhaust, 2-inch, I don't know. Whichever one of those they ran seemed to, they sound pretty good, factory. Put a glass pack on it maybe, and go from there. Alright, so now we're over here at this crossmember bolt. We're going to see if we can get this sucker out. These are coming out nice because they're coated in oil, so that's always handy. Keeping up with these bolts because we need these. Probably lost the washer, but trying to keep up with the bolts if we can. There's so much sand hitting in the face right now, and these goggles are stopping it from going in my eye. Isn't that weird? So weird. It's like I'm living in 2075. Here behind the camera now. So let me grab you on, spin you around. This is my stupid face. All right, so now we're gonna get this jack loosely into position to support the transmission/transfer case. Okay. We need to keep up with this bolt. This bolt is what that rod attaches to the frame with, so we're going to keep up with that. We're going to put it right here in the fender so that when we see it, we won't know what it's for, and then we'll wonder about it. Here's all of our bolts out of our mounts. They're all the same size, so we're going to take those out. Here's our spring, Apex. Put those here and the bolts in between the handles, because that'll kind of pretend like we're going to be able to keep up with them. All right, get this jack into position. We're not going to actually put any pressure on it. We just don't want it to free fall. Honestly. Ow, pain. Yeah, I'm being fidgety because, once it's under there, it's kind of hard to readjust it if it's not how I want it. Go by the pedal housing. So that'll give us the best grip. It's the farthest out of the way. And should theoretically work the best. So yeah, there's my stupid face. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, this ain't there's other things that you should be doing with your time than this. I don't know what they are, but people tell me there's other things. I think this is the most adequate use of one's time. Loving a Willys. This cross member is in very nice shape. All right, so I'm gonna set you back over here away so that I don't drop nothing on you. And I'm gonna be over there. And you ought to be safe sitting right here. Got one more on this side. I don't know if this is going to sag down. I hope it doesn't. Alright, that seems to be supporting it over there. So now we just need to put something to support this end so that it doesn't put tension on those other bolts. I really need like a bottle jack for that. I should support that. Just keep it from falling. Keep up this socket because we don't want to lose that. So now we're back over here on this side to unhook that, and I look so handsome wearing these goggles. Okay? So handsome. Watch out, ladies. All right. I'll put you over here where you're safe. I'm gonna unhook this. If you can. Gotta unhook this damn spring right now. Come on. Alright, come on, just come on, don't be like all that. Oh, there we go. You just leave that hanging. Oh shit, I forgot about the working brake cable. It appears to have one 9/16 bolt holding it in place. That's what it appears to have. Oh, it's a half inch. Dadgummit. Alright, let me go grab that real quick. Oh, that worked out better than I thought it was going to. Alright. Alright, so transmission is fully supported in the front. All the mounts are loose. I'm going to unhook this exhaust, which I'll probably unhook it up at the motor and then unhook it right here maybe so it's completely out of the way. We'll have to see. Oh. Oh. So the goggles overall, they kept a lot of crap out of my eyes, but they still made me uncomfortable, which is why I never liked wearing goggles in the past, okay? But y'all should be mildly proud of me here because, you know, I'm growing, okay? It's harder than two rats going at it in a wool sock in here. So I might open the door, get some airflow up in here, but that'll probably trigger the dog of the barking. So let's get up if we can without dropping y'all. I got these nice lines around my face. Maybe I'll start a trend. Oh. Oh. All right, let's get the creeper out. That up there. Put y'all over here for a second. Put y'all right there. Oh, man. Man. Boy, howdy. All right. And here's the cross member out of a 1949 Willys Truck. There's all your mounts. This is like a grounding cable. So, yeah. That's good. Put that right there. Now, we need to undo the shifter tower. Actually, we'll wait on that for a second. Let's see if the exhaust will break loose, shall we? Yeah, let me put you back on the tripod, the other tripod, and I'll be right back with you. How about that? Okay. All right, so we're back. Now we're going to see if we can't unhook this exhaust right here, which we'll see how that goes. I don't know. Let me open the door here to the shop. I need some air, man. Well, not if it's going to start raining. Never mind. Just forget it. All right. Second I go to get some some air. All right. Let's see, what size this is. (9/16). Imagine that. Everything is 9/16. The future is 9/16. One day down the road, I'm going to get this truck painted fresh and right. Oh, that's just ridiculously easy. Okay. That's incredible right now. What's happening? Come on. Whoever ran the brake lines on this truck did it in a rather asinine way. I didn't reroute it. I used it as it was when I converted it to disc because it was new brake line, but they just ran it in such a bizarre fashion that it, like, you know, it was not, it wasn't necessary to do it like that, but I wasn't there, so maybe it was necessary. So that's that. Let's try to loosen it back here in the back. And then we can take out this whole front L portion. If I don't stop my fender, God, there's my bald head. Yeah. I had a guy at the cigar shop the other day asked me how old I was. I told him, and he's like, no, you're not. He's like, I was getting ready to ask you about Social Security. He's like, I genuinely thought you were like 45, 50. I'm like, thanks, bro. And he goes, what happened to you? And I said, it's been a hard road to hoe. It's rough out here, you know? So I haven't aged gracefully. But I do look like a sick, foxy grandpa, you know, so. Let's get the creeper back out. I'm not going to take you back under, but you can watch me struggle from over here. How about that? There you go. Oh! Oh, man. And of course, I left my goggles, so it's about to be dirt 30. I just don't know what to think about all this exhaust like coming apart like normal right now. I genuinely don't. Alright. I don't know what that was. Here we go. We can put this right on the two-wheel drive Willys. Oh. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Oh. Oh. Man. The guys at the cigar shop says I'm too young to grunt like that when I go to get up, but I'm telling you, it's just the Willys takes it out of you. Alright, so now something went flinging off, And I'm not sure what it was, so. Oh, it was this. This is that little tapered metal bushing thing. Excuse me, part of the exhaust. Oh, that gasket was smoked. I don't know why that wouldn't leak, and it wasn't. Alright, so that's good. We do need to unhook that wire. That's to the oil pressure gauge. I don't feel like fighting to unhook that, so we're going to cut that with a pair of dikes because YOLO, that's why. It's way too long anyway, and I don't feel like fighting with that BS right now, so. Clip, unhook, there we go. Unhook that. There's a spring we have to unhook right here. Alright, that's unhooked. Good. I'll have to do that. I'm just going to cut these two wires so I know one's a frame ground and one is a body ground, because we're going to have to do that for the Dauntless too. So we're just going to leave these because these should work again. So these two will stay mounted to where they are. It should be mostly everything. All right, let's get the, let's do this shifting tower situation. Let's get that unhooked. And put this exhaust right there. Raise you all up so you don't have to keep looking at my midsection too much. Watch out for that jack handle. I'm still waiting on stuff that I ordered for the giveaway, so I'm hoping to get that shipped out before I leave. But here's your sign, sir, the one that wanted. I just have to get all the shirts and hats and all that crap so that I can ship this out. I'm going to put this somewhere safe. We'll put it right here in this chair. Just want to make sure that y'all know I have not forgotten about it. We just had shipping difficulties. There we go. All right. Those are 9/16 because everything is 9/16, so we're going to move you over here. We're running out of ship space, so we're going to hurry up. So we'll do it from the passenger side. But yeah, there you go. We gotta take that shifting tower out. Got 6 bolts holding the shifting tower on. You just don't want to drop any of them. And we're gonna have to cut this boot off that's already ripped anyway, because it's gonna try to be controversial when we go to pull this out. So we're gonna have to cut that sucker to pieces to get it off of here. I'll be interested to see what's inside this transmission, because it shifts good. It started grinding here lately, but the clutch is going bad in this truck, so I believe, oh, there goes one bolt. Well, one washer. That's it. I can live with one washer. Alright. There you go. And there comes the shifting tower. Oh. Actually looks really good. Somebody actually bothered to seal this up. Looks really good. And we'll put this right back on the second we get the transmission out of the truck. But we're going to set it over here somewhere safe. We'll set it right here. I might end up actually, I don't know if it will fit, but I might end up putting that on the other transmission, because I think it is the same shifting tower. I have to look at them because that one's handle's bent wrong. It doesn't look bad in there. It really doesn't. It looks pretty nice. The bearings look good. Not seeing any chunks or nothing. So that's good. Alright, so let's cut this boot. And we'll be one step closer. So, grab a razor blade and then we'll cut this POS boot. So I hear tell that there's these new headliners for these Willys trucks. It's like almost a real headliner, because the factory one wasn't really, it was just like cardboard. And it didn't really cover the whole top of the cab. So it'd be interesting to put one of those in here, because I do have some rust around the top up here. They painted over it, which, you know, not the best. I've got one small pinhole in my drip rail over here that they didn't fix right. It's not hurting anything. Somebody saved this truck just before it was too far gone, because if it had lasted a little bit longer, the drip rail would be shot on this truck. And then I would be sad and without purpose or meaning. Alright, so now we got to break some head bolts off, because I'm genuinely afraid of that. Gotta break some head bolts. Alright, so starter's unhooked, exhaust is unhooked, all that. I want to go ahead and get this chained up to support, so when I unhook the motor mounts in the front, that nothing shifts or does nothing weird. Because we don't want all that noise. We don't need all that. Come on. Alright, that's good. That one's coming out and it didn't pull the stud, which is good. Don't want to pull the stud. I might have to flip the Dauntless back over to pull the chain off the head. I don't know if I got another chain in here. No, it's not. It's not good. I don't want it pulling the whole stud. I know the lighting is so terrible. Just bear with me, alright? Alright. One thing I don't know, we're going to have to extend this arm out. Lift this up. crazy about how that's acting, but the only problem I can see is we got this jack in the way, and it's supporting the transmission, so I think it's gonna get in the way of the feet for this engine hoist. I've got the actual handle for this, but it's out the truck and I ain't get time to go get it. I had to make some tabs to mount to the engine. So let's see how this works. I don't want to bend or break anything, so. Make sure those are flipped around so that you don't want no sudden movements. That is touching that, but I don't think it's going to put any actual pressure on it. And even if it does, it should bend. So, all right. These motor mounts right here are 1/2 inch. We're just going to pop those out on both sides. All right, let's see. We're going to do it gentle. Let's see if the engine picks up. It's picking it up a little crooked here. I was afraid of that, but it's loose, so put it forward all that like that. Okay, all right, we're floating. That arm's hanging up down there, which I knew it would. Hoping, which it probably will if we pull that just a little bit more. This is going to have to bend. Just got to be able to get it cleared. That done, we gotta make sure the levers are gonna clear in here. We need to lower the, oh crap, we need to lower the transmission down. Gently. Pull it a little more out. Be be able to. There we go. Cross member bolts. All right, levers are clear in here. So that means we should be able to, what about that? Yep, shifter lever has come unhooked. So now we should be able to pick it straight up. Oh man, startled me. That shifter lever's hanging. It's important to reach your arm up underneath this so that if it was to fall, it'll cut it off. All right, yeah. We're going, we're coming, we're coming, we're coming. All right. Just gotta get it up a little bit more than this. I'll be hanging on. Down. Shifter. Yeah, turn like that. Stop being a problem. Alright. Parking brake cables out. Just come on out. Some damn transfer case levers.